Hey, what's up everyone, Morey Croson here, and today we're going to be going over the keys of loading that back hip, and we're going to start the video right now. This is the newest edition of the Performance Lab.
Reach your individual goals. You don't want to just talk about straight line speed. We also want to talk about your ability to be quick. We break down your video. Let's make you into the quarterback I know you can become.
All right, so this is going to be dependent on if you're right-hand quarterback, left-hand quarterback. For this, I am a right-handed quarterback, and so I'm going to be loading onto my back leg, which is going to be my right leg. And this is something I've seen a couple different people kind of struggle with, and the couple of the issues that we'll see, and we'll have a couple different camera angles here, is as you're loading, almost going more with like a knee forward type of movement, right? And we really want to be able to put an emphasis on sitting back within that hip and loading that hip. Another thing that I'll see is really immediately shifting forward or putting a big focus on driving here instead of rotating here as you're initializing your weight coming forward. And so what that looks like and what we want to be able to first understand is that first load, right? So when you're going and you're stepping, you want to be able to go from a kind of tall, kind of straight up position to then being able to sink down and load. And as you're doing that, you're obviously loading the ball too. So it's here and you're kind of sinking down into it, right? So I'm sinking down with my hip going back, my knee slightly going forward, and getting a bit of an ankle bend. So I'm here to there, right? And when we're looking at that, what we want to see is how well are we able to really get a stretch within our glute. You should feel a bit of a stretch in your glute as you're getting yourself set up into that position. One of the things that I'll do with people if they're struggling with this concept is, have them just do like a single leg load, right? And just kind of do like a single leg squat, because as you're stepping here, I'll see people that really struggle with like immediately shifting all of their weight onto their front leg or onto their left leg, especially in younger quarterbacks, really struggle with like stepping and their left foot ends up getting a lot of weight immediately, where you want to be able to first load into that back leg as you're initializing your weight coming forward, right? So we don't want to immediately go here. We want to have some degree of a weight transfer onto our back leg where we're loading into that back leg, and then we start to be able to shift and rotate. Now, these are all minute seconds that this is happening, so I don't want to make it seem like you're spending like a bunch of time loading. It's all like boom, boom, right? So it happens quick, but there needs to be that load. Okay, you could do those single leg squats though. You could do loading and then jumping, right? There's a few different ways. You could either even load and then jump and rotate. And this really helps in being able to understand how we want to be able to shift into that foot, and even being able to shift into that leg and then jumping could be a good way of being able to really establish some good fundamentals for what you want to do within that back hip, which is a critical part of being able to add throwing velocity and throwing distance in your throws. Quarterback University is where committed quarterbacks come to take their game to the next level. Improve your throwing power, velocity, accuracy, and get the ball out of your hands faster. Not only are there videos to improve your mechanics, but there's also workout tutorials and also drills to help you improve as well. We want to help you get noticed, which is why we also included a recruiting services section. We'll have quizzes that you'll be able to take to be able to make sure that you actually get the information and are able to repeat it back. In case you have any shoulder, back, wrist, or elbow soreness, there is a section to address that as well. Click the link here in order to get started. Thanks for watching. So really make sure you're understanding that you want to be able to sit back into that hip and then transfer that weight forward. And even though you're getting that weight transfer, we want that initiation to be a rotational movement first. So we don't want it to be just a straight lateral push. We want it to be a rotational movement, and then our weight goes into continual lateral push to rotation. So what happens is that a lot of people end up, and we want to be able to get a good stride, but if it just ends up being this, right, loading, and then just this action, now we'll end up being behind with our hips, right, as we're coming through the throw. We want to be able to rotate first as we're starting the motion, then coming through from there. So, that's really a key concept and something that you're going to have to drill a bunch of times, because it's different now when you go to the left and how we want to be able to shift there, and then again on the right. So you want to be able to make sure you can understand though, getting into that 3-step drop, loading, and then making that feel something that is very, very consistent in terms of every time you get into that position, it's like boom, load in the back leg, and you're ready to throw the football. All right, so definitely watch that again, right? Rep out those drills, right? Just going through and just repping out, loading into that back leg, shifting into the back leg, loading that hip, and making it so we're starting off with rotation in this back leg. And just because I'm, starting to get this rotation going with my lower body doesn't mean I want to have a lot of weight shift with my upper body. I want to be able to keep kind of that upper body back as I'm going and initializing the moment or the movement. So, make sure we're working on that as we're going through. And then I would say have a ball with you too, just to be able to kind of work on that load and sync up your upper body with that as well. So that ends up both being very, very beneficial. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave those down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel as always, and check out our program. We have a great deal going on right now. To end the month of January, $50 off. We also have great things going on within the throw program. We also have a great deal going on within the throw breakdown. Some cool things within like our 7-day free challenge, and a few different things that we could do to help you out as a quarterback. So check out the description. It's all going to be down below in there, an ebook, all those types of good things that will help you improve. That's what we're committed to doing. It's helping you guys improve, making it so you can stay consistent with some type of program. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.